This episode of The Dog Show features Sharon Garrard. Sharon is the founder and organiser of the Street Paws Festival, a series of dog events that bring together local communities and their dogs. In the interview, we talk about the Street Paws Festival, why Sharon started it, and how it celebrates dogs. Sharon, welcome to The Dog Show today. Thanks for coming on.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Interested to chat to you today. You're the founder and organiser of the Street Paws Festival, which is a fun event with a big community of dog owners and dogs now. So I'm sure you got lots to share about, creating a community of dog lovers.
Yeah, that's right. It's the best job ever. We were getting back to the festivals, obviously, after COVID, and now it's a bit of a worrying time. But yeah, it's a great event, just bringing all the community together, dog lovers, dog owners, people that are looking for dogs to adopt or foster, and then supporting rescues as well.
Nice. Before we talk a bit more about the festival and how that all works, tell me a bit more about your dogs. I was going to ask about your individual dog, but you told me before we got on that you've got several dogs in the background hovering around.
No, there's three. I have three. Luckily, they're sleeping at the moment. So my three dogs are from Fiji, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I lived in Fiji for 2 years. This was about 10 years ago, with my partner at the time. We had a business over there. We got our dogs sort of kind of off the street, I suppose. There's a big stray dog problem over there. So we had Bob first, which was, he was off the street from a puppy. I think we paid the villagers like $10 or something, and they were really happy with that. And then we got another dog, and we lost him to parvo, unfortunately, Stumpy. He had a stumpy tail. And then we got Shorty, which she's here now. We actually got her from the vets, but she was off the street. And we were only going to have 2 dogs. That was the plan. And then a little dog was living under our restaurant that had obviously ran away from an awful situation because she was super timid. And then we was going to just rehabilitate her, find her a home. Her name's Shy, and she's always lived up to that name for the 10 years. And then we ended up keeping her, and then we decided to move back to Sydney and bring them back with us.
So parvo is quite common in Fiji, I imagine, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's rife anyway, but it's one of those places because there is so many stray dogs. If you don't get your dog, there's a very small window of when that puppy leaves their mum and when you can get them vaccinated. And unfortunately, because some of the other puppies had it as well, it was just too late. It was very young and very, very sad. I actually came upon one of my memories the other day, like a lovely little picture we had. So he's buried in Fiji, just behind the restaurant that we had.
What made you move to Australia from Fiji? Were you enjoying it over there, or?
I'd been living in Australia already.
Oh, okay.
And then an opportunity came up for my partner, and he got a house over there, and we turned it into a restaurant and bar. And at the time we were thinking of being there for a lot longer than 2 years. But once the restaurant got started up and this and that, I was missing Sydney. I was flying back every few months to run events here. I wasn't doing Street Paws at this time. I was just doing just event management. And yeah, I just missed Australia. Fiji is a fantastic place, but it's great to go on holiday, different to live there.
Yeah, I guess it's traditionally.
And do business as well. They call it Fiji time.
Oh, right.
Not how I roll.
Fair enough. So it sounds like you've got an events background, which has probably led you to running dog lover events. How did Street Paws all happen, and what was that all about?
I've been running events for about 12 years now, and I was working mainly in kind of creative industries, fashion and that kind of thing. I wish I'd got into the pet industry 10 years ago. And I didn't even consider it. I think what happened is I was doing some fashion stuff, and we did a little dog show where people could bring their dogs on the catwalk. that sort of, there was a bit of a light bulb moment there. And then I actually met with the CEO of Addison Road Community Centre. They were doing some night markets there, some street food markets. And it was pet friendly, and they were struggling getting crowds there and stuff. And they were like, why don't we do some pet stalls? And I was like, oh, yeah, I can run that for you. We can do some little competitions and, a little runway thing again. And then me and the CEO, Rosanna, sat together, put our heads together. We called it Street Paws Festival because their night market was called Street Food Markets. And so that's where the street part came. And then just as I launched that, it went from meant to be like 5 pet stalls to maybe 30 pet stalls.
Yeah.
People, approaching me. I didn't even have to really put the word out there as soon as I put it on social media. So I was like, wow, this is really something, And then we got sponsorship as well from Petstock before we'd even really built the brand.
Great.
So, and then we did the event, the first one at Addison Road in Marrickville, and then it was like, this could work, and then just started looking at different venues. We did collaborations with bigger festivals like the Italian Norton Street Festival and also Marrickville Festival, where we would just have a small section, like a pet section. And now it's around 10 times a year in different locations. Yeah.
It must have been hard over the last couple of years to keep that going.
Yeah. It was sad because it was really going from strength to strength, and the community, before COVID and before everyone getting dogs, it was such a great event to run, and the response was fantastic. And it evolved of not just being pet stalls and a market. It was really supporting rescues, shining a light on how to adopt, how to foster. Then obviously COVID hit, and we had to take a step back and really think about how we could keep the community bonded. And we were doing lots of online competitions and that, but we were just really wanting to get back to running the events. So yeah, it has been hard.
Well, one thing I've learned though through this whole time is that people do value community a lot, and especially dog owners as well, and they're seeking that, even if it's taken away, especially if it's taken away every now and then with lockdowns and things like that. They're really seeking that kind of contact with people now. Connection. That's the right word. Yeah.
If you think about, if you walk to the shops, you don't really talk to people. You might smile at someone and say hello. But when you have a dog with you or someone else has a dog, I know I do this. I'm straight over wanting to have a pet. I'll get to know the dog's name before the person's name. Then you have a community of people you see. So that connection, I think, really brings people. It's like an icebreaker. Of people sharing stories of their dog, showing off their dog. It might be the dog's got a fancy outfit on. It might be a really, really rare mix, or so big, small. So that connection is what we really missed. It was great doing the online competitions where people would submit pics, and it was super cute. But the actual going and patting dogs, I mean, when I'm at the event, that's all I do. Just patting dogs all day long, really, and chatting to people. So it's fantastic.
So what does the event look like? I mean, you've spoken about stalls and stuff. So is that the main structure of it, or are there other things that go on?
So we have, usually we have anything between 30 to 40 stalls. So it's like a market vibe. Then we'll have an area where we do competitions all day. So we have a schedule. Usually is anything between 3 to 5 competitions, some quirky stuff, nothing serious, like old timer where the dog has to be over 10. The people come along, I'm on the microphone, and they line up. We have like all the prizes and stuff on display, and then they just come along and they tell their story about their dog, and then it's just, and we have a judge. Sometimes it'll be like a VIP judge or a vet, or board members from the venue or something like that. And it's so hard. Like the hardest part is judging that competition. I'm so glad I don't have to do it. So what we try and do, because we do have sponsors for giveaways and stuff, we try and make sure everybody gets a prize. So yeah, so that area is a competition area. Some other events we've had flyball demos, which I didn't even know what flyball was before I got into Street Paws. And they're fantastic, fast-paced entertainment. Do you know flyball?
No, I don't. I was going to ask.
It's like a fenced-off area where the dogs race, but
right.
They have like the ramps, and they go over jumps, and they'll go and like get a ball at the end, and their time. This is actually a massive thing in Australia where they have competitions all over the place. It's so high energy, and it's not just about working dogs or farming dogs. It's like you have little Jack Russells running and doing the jumps, and it's the best entertainment we've had, definitely, at the event. I mean, we've had like dog yoga and this and that and all types of things, but each event is usually different depending on what space we have to work with. But the next one we have in Wollongong, we do have a big flyball demo, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And do you notice like certain types of breeds or people with certain types of breeds are attracted to your events more than others, or?
No, not at all, actually. It's for everybody. Literally every kind of breed, mix, mutt, rescue you can think of is there. That's what makes it so fantastic, is there's the biggest dog you've ever seen, and then there's the teeny ones that people are carrying around. People bring their dogs in prams if they're old, and you've got just beautiful, I tend to sway towards mutts and mixed dogs, probably because I have 3 myself. But then you've got the people that, prime example, cavoodles, it goes in trends. So through COVID, after COVID, we'd go from having maybe 10 entries into a competition to like 30 to 40 entries. And, we have one called the cutest dog, which we did that after COVID, probably because everybody got dogs in COVID. And there'd be the cavoodles, and then there'd be the French bulldogs, and then there'd be the dachshunds. There's definitely trends.
Well, everyone thinks their dog's the cutest dog, though, right?
100%. 100%. I love that too.
So what about the stalls? Are there a huge variety of different stalls? Is it food? Is it kind of toys? Is it, accessories?
Everything you can think of. So all of the above that you just mentioned. We have vets that do free medical checks.
Oh, wow.
We usually do around 5 free spots for rescues. So you can go and meet dogs that are up for adoption there. Greyhounds as pets is one of my favourite ones. And then we have everything, like things that you wouldn't even think of, like massage and cremation, dog cremation for when they pass, which is ever so sad. But just I've been amazed, really, the things that I've discovered. And then of course, the pet treats, like homemade all natural pet treats is another really popular one that seems to have come through in the last couple of years. The raw kind of food movement for dogs. So dog ice cream, dog gelato.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
And then the puppuccinos, the coffees, and not coffee, but you don't give your dog coffee. But it's mind-boggling, really, of like what people think of. And even there's one that I found the other day. It's like a tent that you would put on the beach at the park for just the dog, not humans, like a shade thing. I thought that was interesting. They're actually coming down from Queensland to do the event in Marrickville. Everything. Like there's one called Buddy Rider, where it's a bike and it's like a little kind of basket for the dog. There's one where you carry your dog on your back when you're riding your bike.
Basically everything that humans do, but in dog form.
Pretty much, and more.
and more, exactly, yeah. I'm sure, whilst you can't give your dogs coffee, I'm sure there's plenty of coffee for the people that are bringing their dogs along.
Yeah. So what we do, we have always have a coffee van. We start in the morning at 10. Then we usually have anything between 5 to 7 food stalls.
Yeah.
So you can come for lunch. We have lots of picnic blankets out, and we have a really good variation of different food stalls as well. And we try and do kids' activities as well. We've had workshops where kids can make dog collars, from recycled materials, bouncy castle, Paw Patrol bouncy castle, face painting, but it's all, dog related or animal related. So, yeah, it's a real family fun day.
It sounds like a great day out. So when's Wollongong on? When's that next one?
28th of August.
August. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get this episode up before then, so people can know about that and it's not outdated.
Yeah, it's the first time we're going down there actually,
okay.
And we're really excited about it because you get a real feeling from the community. Like the stalls sold out straight away, and then we actually set up a page, and I have one here in the Central Coast. It's just called Street Paws Illawarra and Shire Community instead of just the Street Paws Festival page. So we have that for the stall holders to connect with each other, the dog people to connect with each other, the dog owners. We'll do a call out and say, what's your favourite dog park in the area and who's your favourite groomer? And then that helps us connect, but it also is a great recommendation for the dog owners too.
Yeah, I imagine it's great doing a new location for you as well because you'll meet a bunch of different businesses, different people, different dogs, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll lock it in once a year or sometimes twice a year if it goes well. Marrickville we did twice a year before COVID. Central Coast twice a year. Newcastle is massive, absolutely massive. We had about 4,000 people there in February. So, yeah, we like to go back to the places, and then we'll have some people like, when are you coming to the area? It depends on the relationship you have with the council or the venue. It's got to tick certain boxes when it comes to a dog-friendly event.
Yeah, of course. Cool. So where should people go if they want to find out more about the upcoming Wollongong event, the Marrickville event, and all the cool stuff you're doing?
Yeah, so we're on Facebook and Instagram, Street Paws Festival. Once you go to the Facebook page and go to events section, that'll have the calendar of events. It drops down. Make sure you say see more because we've locked in events till the end of the year. We also, in the winter, run an event called Pups in Pubs. I don't know whether you know this.
No, but go on.
It's a collaboration that we do with Pupsy. And what happens is it's a smaller event that is in an establishment that's pet friendly. We just did one at the Rocks long weekend, and it was fantastic. So we try and do that more in the winter when it's a bit colder. So you can find all the events. We're depending on COVID, we're hoping to lock in like Redfern coming up, Erskineville, and Bangor in the Shire. So yeah, we try and cover as many different places. But yeah, so Pups in Pubs and Street Paws Festival on Facebook.
Well, I'll share those links in the message, and I'm definitely going to go check out those events too to make sure that I can get to the next one myself.
Where's your area? I'll tell you where the nearest one for you.
Well, I'm in North Sydney, but I could easily get to, Marrickville or something like that.
Yeah, we had people come to the Rocks event on the ferry from Manly and, everywhere. So people travel for it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Exactly. Well, Sharon, thanks so much for coming on the show today. I've had a lot of fun chatting to you and hearing about the Street Paws Festival.
Thank you. Thanks so much.